Hello, and welcome back to our series on stress management. Have you ever been in your office when people were laughing at something that normally would amuse you too, only this time, instead of laughing, you're thinking, what's so funny? I don't see anything to laugh at. You know, losing your sense of humor can be one of the signs of too much stress. There are other warning signals. Some you're aware of, and some you're probably not. In this program, we'll be seeing more scenes from the real estate development company Clark Heidecker Associates, and we'll talk about the signs and signals and consequences of prolonged stress. Then you'll be ready to identify some of your habitual patterns of coping and consider whether or not they're truly effective.
There's a chance here to really help his cause. Ball 2 outside. Slater's getting behind on a pitcher, and it's a bad business to get behind on anybody. Slater delivers. There's a long drive to left field. Way back.
Butterfingers does it again.
I'm sorry, the pitcher just hit a home run and the crowd went insane. Is everything okay, honey? Is everything cool at work?
I think so. I thought I got a lot out of the way today, you know?
And by the time you get the rest of the stuff out of the way, you'll be headed into the grand opening and driving yourself into the ground again.
No. Kevin, I know things have been hectic, but I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get wild when we get close to opening, but it's not like the last time.
If you say so.
I'm ahead of my quota. I'm not traveling. Come on, you remember what it was like 6 months ago. I was...
Impossible.
I'm really starting to feel like myself again.
Enough to find a new babysitter so that we can go out Saturday night?
Okay. I have a couple of names.
Good night.
You going home?
Yeah. You?
Eventually. What's Maureen's married name?
Davidson.
Right, Davidson. What's her last name?
It's, hello? Yes, she is. Hold on. Guess who?
Hi, Linda. No, nothing much. We were just finishing up dinner.
I'm sorry, Maureen. This won't take long, but I have some exciting news.
Oh?
Paul and I have been trying to figure out how to resolve this Dennis situation, and I think I finally have it solved. Maureen, I want to give you Dennis's national accounts.
I don't understand.
I've lined up some really good junior people in L.A., and all you have to do is keep tabs on them and go out there and troubleshoot now and then.
You're telling me you want me to drop what I've been doing and manage a West Coast staff?
I don't see how I can do it. It's about time you took on something more challenging.
I find what I've been doing very challenging.
You know, what you really should do is go out and base yourself on the West Coast so you could run it all yourself, but I know you won't do that, unfortunately. So I think this is a very good compromise. With the bonuses and the overrides alone, it'll mean an increase of at least 20%.
But the money isn't everything. I'd like to think about it.
Maureen, you said that the last time, and look how well you did.
Thanks, Linda. It's a wonderful opportunity.
Yes, it is. And if I were you, Maureen, I'd plunge right in.
You off the phone?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's too late to call Nancy?
Nancy?
About her sister. The one who babysits.
Kevin, would you call?
Why don't we just forget about it?
Stress is a totally pervasive phenomena. Aspects of it are positive, aspects of it are negative. The major governing characteristic of whether a stress is good or bad is its duration. When we're under stress for too long a period of time with no relief, unrelenting stress, that tends to be negative in the sense it produces ill effects in both mind and body.
It is not any single physiological response or any single stress episode that does you in, but it's really the repetition of a lot of these episodes. So it's not the rise in blood pressure today necessarily that is harmful, but it's the fact of how many of these are you having, how intense are they, and how long are they lasting.
The big problem with developing awareness of stress, of course, is that we're distracted by so many things that are going on all the time. If we have a management job, it's almost guaranteed that our day will be filled up by many, many demands on our time. And it's quite a challenge for any manager to get control of his or her time and keep it. And so in this press of events, in this daily flood of things that are coming in and things that are happening, it's very, very easy to be pulled away from our attention to our own needs and our own responses.
Paying attention to how you feel and what you need takes less time than you think. Think about the way you maintain your car. It takes a few extra minutes to check the oil, but you do it as a matter of course. You're sensitive to any unusual sound that may mean something's not quite right, so you can spot problems before they get serious. You take care of your car, so you can rely on it to get you where you want to go. So why deny yourself the same attention? Consider for a moment or two how you usually feel when you come home at the end of the day. Tired? Strained? That's natural. But then what? Do you wind down, start to relax, recuperate? And how do you feel in the morning? Ready to start the day, or are you still worn out from the day before? Well, there's an important difference between short-term stress and chronic stress. Short-term stress lasts for minutes, hours, maybe a day, and some of us thrive on it. But stress becomes chronic when there's too much of it, or it lasts too long with no chance for recuperation. And that's when we start to see consequences in our health, our sense of well-being, and our behavior. Chronic stress has very particular warning signs, and you can easily learn to recognize them.
There are many ways that we can become aware of the fact that we are suffering the early stages of excessive stress. On a psychological level, we might notice ourselves becoming more irritable, easily distracted, being relatively impatient.
Get it.
Hi, Maureen. Good morning, Peggy. Oops. Good morning, Herb.
On a physiological level, we would know that we would have slight tension in the neck, a tightness in the stomach, a soreness in the low back. That would be on a purely physical level. On a behavioral level, we may find ourselves having difficulty sleeping. We might find ourselves getting to the office earlier in the morning, staying later at night, and feeling like we're not accomplishing anything. These are all a vast array of indications that we are becoming excessively strained, and we need to do something at that point to alleviate the strain upon ourselves and all of those individuals that work with and for us.
The easiest way to detect a high stress level is really a loss of feelings of security and adequacy. That's probably the simplest psychological definition. It means you feel out of your comfort zone, you feel unprepared, you feel perhaps frightened, you feel anxious, and the notion is that things are not in place. Things are no longer quite in control.
Yes, come in.
Congratulations.
What? Oh, word travels fast.
Yeah, it's nice to get some good news for a change, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you really earned it. I can't think of anybody who deserves it more.
Thanks. I guess I do.
You don't know?
I don't feel like I know much of anything this morning.
You really saved Linda's hide.
What?
At the meeting the other day with Craig. After that mess Dennis made, it was a good thing she had your stuff to trot out.
It wasn't all my stuff.
Give yourself credit. If I were you, I'd be on top of the world. You know, sometimes I think about giving up accounting and taking a crack at the leasing end myself.
What on earth for?
The travel, the bonuses, the overrides. You're in for some big bucks. What does Kevin think, huh?
I haven't told Kevin yet.
No? Why not? Oh, he'll be very proud of you. It's a big job. Good going.
For the most part, The early stages of a stress reaction go unrecognized simply because we are not very well educated to know about the biological cues that our body and mind is constantly giving us about the status of our internal health and external circumstances. The one thing that is a certainty is that as people learn an effective stress management approach, they can become increasingly aware of these early warning signs and therefore do something earlier to prevent the unfortunate consequences.
There are other early warning signs of excessive stress: tension headaches, skin rashes, frequent colds, general lack of energy. These are just some of the physical symptoms. You might notice that you become forgetful or that you have difficulty concentrating. Relationships can become strained and people may begin to overuse alcohol or drugs, all kinds of drugs, even aspirin. All of these are signs. Do you recognize any of your own early warning signs?
The experience of stress is the same for all people and different for each person. It's the same that we all manifest stress by emotional changes, by bodily changes. It's different in the sense that the emotions, the bodily changes may vary from one person to another. You can check this out for yourself a little bit in the sense that most people will tell you that when they get upset, they have a particular part of their body that's vulnerable to upset. Some people get tense shoulder muscles, other people get digestive disturbances, some people can't stop eating, some people can't start eating, some people will show heart rate going up, other people will show blood pressure going up.
What's new with the strike?
No strike yet. No contract either. I bet they'll walk today.
Listen, if those guys walk, I look great in a heartbeat. Look at this. Peggy, how about it, huh?
You have 3 messages from the contractor. One from Bill. He said the windows came in early, but they're the wrong windows. And Herb wants to talk to you.
Why doesn't he go through Paul?
Does he ever?
We'll find out what he wants, okay?
Thanks. Your wife said to tell you the car has a cracked block.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What about Craig? Did he return my call?
No. Did you remember to bring in those old reports for him?
Oh, I forgot. Go on.
Well, that's it. Oh, wait. Something about having your prescription changed. I told them to put you down for 11.
Cancel it, okay?
Nelson, it only takes a minute to check your blood pressure.
Each of us has a stress signature. Yours is personal, unique to you. And it doesn't appear in an instant or even overnight. It emerges only after stress accumulates. And it does, you know. Almost the way a few extra calories on a regular basis gradually add up to pounds. Now, it may take the form of a physical symptom, like a backache or hypertension. Or it may show up in behavior. Some people tend to withdraw, become passive when stress builds up. Others get more active, aggressive even. Some of us get so time-pressured we become upset when we have to wait the last few seconds for a red light to change. Or we may become preoccupied. We may have trouble concentrating. Or fall into thinking patterns of doom and gloom. How about you? Are you experiencing signs of too much stress? In your handbook, there's a questionnaire that will help you to find out. Sometimes it's easy to confuse reacting to stress with actually managing it. That's because our reactions may seem to solve a problem. We have a few drinks and tension is relieved. We become pushy and impatient or demanding, and we think that's helped us meet the deadline. But are we really managing our stress or just masking